Happy Monday, YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great start to your day. For me, I'm killing it today. So far, I've taken 5 inbound calls. I've been able to make 4 solid presentations and close 2 applications. So I'm having a great morning. 100% senior life. And here I am today waiting for my next call. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys listen into that as we wait for that call. Because a lot of you guys are reaching out to me. You're eager to get going. You want to learn more about our system. And for me, it's important to see if you can even follow our scripting process, our playbook. Because if you can, telesales can be a great fit for you. You can close a high percentage if you can follow my scripting system and our process. Every single one of the leads that I'm working here today are customer initiated inbounds. So clients are going to our webpage, landing page, Google, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. They see our ad and they call us at that point in time. Real time, real people looking for what? Funeral insurance. No way around that. So I got my system here waiting, ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to share with you guys again what this looks like, what the system's like, because that way you can see exactly what to expect. We have a very simple approach to how we sell our products. Easy, but you got to follow a script. You know, the other day I was talking about agents that are doing like 5-minute scripts, right? Within 5 minutes, they are already pitching rates and pitching carriers, but their closing ratios aren't very high. They're not making full presentations. So, you know, they're just pitching rates and pitching carriers, but not really presenting a valuable product solution. And if you're doing that, you're not going to sell a whole lot. The key to writing insurance is you got to be able to pace yourself as you're writing apps. But you got to pace yourself with enough time to give each and every single one of these callers the value that they deserve, which is information. Because I promise you, if you just hit them with rates and carriers, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get a bunch of, let me think about it, it's too expensive, because all you talked about was rates and carriers, but you really didn't provide anything of value, any information. And you need to. These people, it's obvious they need some insurance, but what they need more is information on how these policies work and how do they work for them exactly. But the biggest one is underwriting. A lot of you guys aren't taking the necessary time to do your underwriting. And obviously that will hurt you. So as we wait for the next call, I'm going to share with you guys just a couple of the call logs this morning. You can get an idea of how we've been doing, and you can check for yourself the quality of the lead. So let me go ahead and share with you guys that. And now I know you can see the screen here. So here is the traffic that we've had today. Okay. Again, here's our playbook. We cover everything from a sales process to our closing strategy. But for this purpose here today, because this is real time in real life, I'm just going to leave my script right in front of me. Now, our script is tied into our CRM, so you'll always have your scripting system in front of you as the calls come through. but I always like having my playbook close to where I can get to it. So obviously, you know, if I get stuck or I need a reference to it, I have it there at a moment's notice. But right off the top, let's just listen in to some of the calls here. Here's the last call that I had, and just listen into the quality. Again, for those of you guys that don't know, here is our marketing. This is one of the pieces that we have out there in the space. As you can see, there's no gimmicks, no free. It's all about final expense, and people know that if they call in, they're going to get a quote regarding funeral insurance in real time. This is our YouTube, and this video
Discover
right here is
financial peace of
amazing.
mind for your loved one with up to $25,000 final expense life insurance coverage. Call us today to learn how you can easily apply with our streamlined process. Enjoy budget-friendly premiums. Relieve your family from the burden of funeral costs and other end-of-life expenses. Don't wait. Take control of your family's financial future now.
As you can see, a call to action. Here's our websites that we run, our landing pages. So people are going to these, they're searching, and what they're looking for is what me and you have. We have the information and we have that quote. Now let's just take a listen in to my last call. Again, just listening to the quality of these calls. Ask yourself if you like them. Good day, this is Laurel in the Final Expense Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
I am Rebecca Brazel.
Hello, Rebecca. Nice to meet you. My name is Laurel, and I'll be assisting here today. Now, Rebecca, were you calling in looking for a quote for yourself, or was this for a friend or a loved one?
For my husband, and maybe my...
Okay, so is your husband available to maybe answer some health questions here to see if he qualifies, or would he just like to start with you first?
I will take and answer all of his questions because he does not like the telephone. And I have power of...
I had no sale on that deal. And typically, if I don't get the person on the phone that we're underwriting, chances are I'm not going to get very far. We'll go to another one here. Good day, Laurel in the Final Expense Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Freddie Hodges.
Can I get that first name one more time, sir?
Freddie, F-R-A-D-D-I-E.
Pretty. Miss Pretty Hodges, right? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hodge. Once again, my name is Laurel Herrera, and I'm going to be helping you here today. But let me ask you something, Mr. Hodge. Were you looking for this quote for yourself, or was it for a friend or a loved one?
Myself.
For you? All right. Well, let's go ahead and see if you qualify. I got 6 minutes into this call. The call dropped. Have to call him back. And that happens. You're on the phone, some tech issue happens, the call drops. Never assume the client hung up. Call him back. Let's continue on here. And I'm only sharing you guys my calls this morning. Okay, here we go. Here's my other call. And just listen in. Good morning, Laurel in the Final Expense Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
My name's Patricia Haugen, and I know that I've called several times, but I don't remember getting through, and I haven't received any paperwork.
Okay,
Would I receive paperwork?
Oh, well, Patricia, well, let me see if I can help you here. Once again, my name is Laurel Herrera, and I'm here in the Final Expense Department. Now, Patricia, I assume that you were looking for this quote for yourself?
Yes. Okay. I have one daughter, and I don't want to leave her with the total expense of my passing. I want to be able to get an account set up.
Oh, I understand. Well, let's go ahead and see if you qualify first. The good news is we don't require a medical exam. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions here. Now, once again. So at a minute into the conversation, we know they're calling in for themselves. They're obviously interested in a quote. and we get right into the underwriting. But we're going to skip how she answered to the medical questions. Okay, and continue with the script and just follow along.
So there's nothing else.
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay.
Search.
Thank you for that.
I'm eliminating them as much as I can.
Okay. Understood. All righty. Okay.
And what I want you guys to focus on, really, for all of you guys, is if you can follow this script. Because if you can, you will close at a higher percentage than the rest of the people on the phones. It is a fact. But this is why I want you guys to listen in. See, a lot of agents, they get on the phone and the first thing they do is they're pitching rates and carriers. We do not want to do that. We want to provide value, 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 value. Then we ask for the sale. So as you're listening in, there'll be parts that I mute and change because obviously we're getting into some information. But overall, can you follow the script is the question.
Well, thank you so much for being
Listen.
honest. That really helps me help you. And based on how you answer this questionnaire and obviously me taking a look at your medication, it does appear that you qualify for one of our best programs. Now, Patricia, you know, most of the people that I talk to, you know, they're faced with a problem. And the problem is the high cost of death. And Mrs. Patricia, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the average funeral, you know, is costing between $6,000 to $10,000. And that's a lot of money. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
You know, what we do, Patricia, is we help you do two things. Not only fund this policy in advance by putting some insurance in place, but we also furnish you with a memorial guide by the name of Legacy Assurance that allows you the ability to write down all of your wishes in writing. Plus, it would allow you the ability as well to lock in the merchandise of your funeral, whether caskets or urns. You lock in the price at today's cost. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the features and the benefits of your plan. Now, the name of the company is Royal Neighbors of America, Senior Life Insurance Company. They're out of Thomasville, Georgia. And they've been paying claims now for well over 50 years. Now, Senior Life Insurance Company's policies, Patricia, are permanent whole life plans that are guaranteed for the rest of your life. Your premiums will never increase. Your benefits will never decrease. And as I mentioned to you before, we don't do no medical exams to get you qualified. We just simply ask you a few questions right over the telephone. But most importantly, we pay our claims within 24 hours of receiving the required paperwork. Now, do you know why we pay claims so fast, Patricia?
Because funerals are expensive.
Good answer. But you know, the main reason, besides them being so expensive, is the reason we pay them so quickly is that we understand that when we leave this world, it will be one of the worst days in your family's life because you're gone and you're not coming back. So what we do is we provide you this money the same way that you would if you were still alive. And this is really the last gift of love that you can leave for your family. The choice is whether you do it today or your loved ones are forced to do it later. You know, as the saying goes, right? No one ever plans to fail. They simply just fail to plan. Now, what I'm going to do is I've been planning. I have been planning. I've got to get something in place. I've been looking at this for about 5 months. And I've got to get something in place because my daughter is all I have.
Obviously, I closed this deal. But so far, you guys have seen the quality of the lead. There's no hesitation, no resistance, no free stuff. Now, does it happen sometimes where people say, well, I thought this was free or something? Of course that does happen. But overall, in general, I don't hear that. Making the quality of the inbound lead superior to anything out there. So if you can combine a great lead source with a high skill set in closing and selling, your outcome is going to be high. And I'll share another one here. Then just listen in. Ask yourself if you can duplicate a step-by-step script. If you can, you will see over 40% of these converting into an application. For me today, I've closed over that 40%. I've taken 5 inbounds, made 4 full presentations, closed half. Simple math. But when you look at everything, over 40% of them converted. But listen in, ask yourself what you think of the quality, and then more importantly, can you follow the script? Because again, if you're not following the script, it will hurt you. And I'll give you guys an example of a presentation that I heard the other day. And this is what it sounded like. Good morning, this is Laurel. How can I help you? Now, was this policy for yourself or for a loved one? For you? Okay. Well, I'm a broker. I represent over 25 insurance companies, and the way these policies work is pretty simple. It's based on your health and your age. So the first thing we need to do is fill out an application, submit it to the insurance company to see if you qualify. Now, we won't need no money from you today, Mr. Prospect, but in the event I do find something for you that makes sense, do you have a valid or checking or savings account? Yes or no? If they answer yes, then they go right into the underwriting questions, and then they come back with a set of rates and the name of the carrier, all within 5 minutes. If that's the way you're selling right now, you are burning through leads. Bottom line, because you're cherry picking and you're only going for the low-hanging fruit. By following the script, you're going to have more success, you're going to create more value, and your clients are going to be more in tune to buying from you because you're presenting all the facts. So I'm going to get ahead. I'm just going to cut through pieces of it because I want you guys to see that I'm following my script step by step. And as I've always said to everybody I've worked for, I will never ask you to do something I don't do myself, whether it's outbound dialing, whether it's working live calls, or whether inbounds. If I'm doing it, I'm going to ask you to do it. That's one of the powerful things about working with a leader who still sells, who still gets on the phone with you. This morning, I've spent it working, developing others, because if you win, I win. It's that simple. Now, let's continue listening.
Good morning, Laurel in the Final Expense Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Bobby Lewis.
Good morning, Bobby. Hope you're doing well.
Good morning. Pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So once again, my name is Laurel Herrera. I'm here in the Final Expense Online Department. Now, before I get started, Bobby, were you looking for this funeral quote for yourself, or was it for a friend or a loved one?
For myself.
For you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and see if you qualify. The good news is we don't require a medical exam. We're just going to ask you a few health questions, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to forward these questions.
Okay. Now,
but once again, I'm at 50 seconds. So if in those first 60 seconds, this is a garbage lead, hang up, no charge. But anytime that lead goes over 60 seconds, I am taking full responsibility to pay for it, regardless of what happens on that call. We charge $55 for 60 seconds, $45 for 15 seconds, your choice. But once you cross that buffer, it's billable. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and forward the health questions. Roughly 3 minutes worth of health questions.
Oh, a Riprazole.
Is it a Riprazole?
I don't know their names right off the bat. I
Okay, well, let's do
take several.
No, in the last year you haven't been to the ER?
No.
When you take your time to really underwrite your client, ask every question on the application, your placement ratios will increase. Your non-taken ratios will reduce. A lot of you guys just ask superficial questions, and then you get to the interview or when you bind your policy and they didn't qualify for what you thought they did. Good luck trying to recover from that. It's hard. So spend some time, get all the medications, get all the questions, ask now, because you're only fooling yourself if they don't qualify for what you pitched them. So continue listening.
All righty. Well, Bobby, I want to congratulate you because, based on your overall health condition, with you taking the medications you're taking, your overall health, you do qualify based on that. Now, most of the people that I deal with on a daily basis, they're faced with a major problem. And the problem, Bobby, is the high cost of death. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but in South Carolina, the average funeral is between $6,000 to $10,000. And that really is a lot of money. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it is.
And so what we do, Bobby, is that we help you do two things. We not only help you fund for this in advance by setting up some insurance, but we also furnish you with a memorial guide that allows you the ability to write down all of your wishes in writing so that way your family doesn't have to scramble. Now, what I'm going to do with you, Bobby, is I'm going to share with you the benefits of your policy. The name of the company is Senior Life Insurance Company. They're located out of Thomasville, Georgia, and they've been paying claims now for well over 50 years. Your program is a permanent whole life plan that is guaranteed for the rest of your life. Your premiums never increase. Your benefits never decrease. And as I mentioned, we don't do any medical exams to get you qualified. We just ask you a few simple health questions directly over the phone. But most importantly, we pay our claims within 24 hours of receiving the required paperwork. Now, do you know why we pay claims so fast?
No.
The reason we pay claims so fast is real simple. You see, when you leave this world, it's one of the worst days in your family's life because you're gone and you're not coming back. So we provide this money the same way that you would if you were still alive. It's really the last gift of love that you can leave your family. The choice is whether you do it today or your loved ones are forced to do it later. Because no one ever plans to fail. What we simply fail is to plan. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at 3 different plans that you qualify for, and it's going to take just a minute. Now, keeping affordability in mind, Bobby, as well as providing lasting value for you and your family, here are the 3 options that you've qualified for, okay? The first option is the plan for $8,500 for natural causes, and it would also pay an additional $8,500 if you died in an accident, and that would cost $91.73. Option 2 is $7,500 if you died of natural causes, and then $7,500 if you died from an accident. And that monthly enrollment, Bobby, would be $81.77. And then lastly, the third option is the policy for $6,500 if you died of natural causes. and $6,500 additionally if you died of an accident, and then that would be $71.81. Now, while you're deciding on which one of those plans you would like to go ahead and leave behind, let me gather just a little more information from you.
That obviously was another sale right there. So if you're watching this, I just gave you a window of our lead quality, and I could spend an hour, 2 hours just going through call after call so you can listen. Something about agents, right? They don't believe anything, and I don't blame them. When it comes to marketing, every company makes these claims, makes those claims, and it's all BS, right? I get it. I'm in the marketing business. But what's crazy? My number one business is insurance. That's my number one business. But over all these years, I realized a long time ago, I needed to make sure I had a lead system that had some umph to, and that I controlled. And we have that. It's taken us years and years and a lot of failures and setbacks. But you know what? I wouldn't change any of that because of what we have here today. This is our lead system. And I'm proud of it because every day my agents aren't crying about how horrible the leads are. They're not crying about the lead quality. They ain't crying about that. What they're upset about is their own skills. If their closing ratios aren't there, while they see other people winning, they feel bad because it's not the lead quality, it's not the carrier, it's you. So if you can follow this script, and I'm going to put my training here in the bottom section, go through it. Spend some time going through it. If you can duplicate this script word by word, not re-engineering it, not taking what you like and what you don't like and doing what you want, that's not going to work. This requires you to follow it step by step. And the first step is following the script word by word. The second is learning how to close. And I focus on that myself, and I'll train you on that. Not many leaders get on the phone. I still get on the phone. I've been doing this 20 years. I love final expense. For me, this isn't even work. I just love it. I love the rush of getting on the telephone, and it's me against the prospect because it's me to help that client win. They know they need this. They know they need it. But they're not going to flat out say, oh, yeah, I'm ready. Here's my checkbook. You got to work for it. You got to sell, present, and then you got to get surgical and close. And if you can't do any of those two, what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of leads. You'll make 5-minute pitches. You won't close the percentages that you need to in order to stay in the game. So lead quality is important, but having a training system that's equally of quality is just as important. So I hope this helped you guys. It's helped a bunch of others. And this is why I do this recordings, because it saves me the energy of having to show every single person exactly everything. And I understand why, because people are scared. People are scared to put up money to invest in order to make it happen. I understand. But by giving you guys this, by having this preemptive strike, my goal is to help you, for you to make a decision if this is a good fit. And if it's a good fit, I'll also put the contracting information of Senior Life here in the bottom section. Go out, fill out your contract. Once I get notification that you submitted your contract, I will call you and we'll negotiate a contract that you're happy with and I'm happy with. We're not going to give away the farm, but if you have some credentials, you got some production, documentation helps, that will definitely help you get a better deal. All right. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoy your Monday. I still got a few more hours. My goal here today is to take a total of 10 inbounds, and I'm shooting for another 2 applications. So I'm shooting for 4 apps. And as long as I'm here plugging away, putting the pressure on the system, there's absolutely no reason why I don't get them. But if I don't, I'm not going to feel bad about myself again because it's a system. You're going to have bad days. I give you that. You'll maybe have a bad week, but you will never have a bad month. And take it from 20 years of experience. I have never had any other outside source of income to feed my family. All of my monies came from insurance and whatever we do in lead generation. But my number one is insurance. So I know what it is to feed my family based off my insurance income. And you can do it. So with that said, you guys have a blessed day and see you guys at top. Peace.